And yeah, by drawing on one of your points, do you think that by guaranteeing to all workers wage that is sufficient to for them to lead the correct standards of living, this will lead to the company making less profit, and this is the argument that most companies use not to implement CSR policies in the, for example, labour policies. So what do you think about it?
There are two things to say. One is that there are always arguments about what an appropriate minimum wage should be in every country, and that will go on too, but at least it has the chance of, as it were, ruling out extremely poorly paid work. There is that good chance of that legislation and those agreements beginning to make very low pay at exploitative rates and conditions completely unacceptable internationally as well as nationally. So there is obviously an argument about that. There's also the problem of that you're raising about the responsibility of the employer, that they will complain about loss of profit. That raises the old question of what is a reasonable rate of profit. I grew up at a time when people used to argue that 10% was not a bad kind of percentage, which was both desirable for purposes of investment and for economic and business success, but also offering a reasonable rate of return. And part of our problem is that we have to also encourage some respect for profiteering to a moderate extent rather than an excessive extent. And religion played a very big part in this. I mean, those of you who've read Max Weber on the Protestant ethic, for example, will know that a lot of business in Europe grew up with a real self-conscious understanding of not wanting to exploit business conditions, and actually that brought about a great deal of success in economic growth, because more people were able to buy the products and the services as a consequence of that non-excessive approach to the management of business. And I think maybe the decline of certainly a number of major religions has contributed to a more exploitative value within some parts of business, which is a pity.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.